Bom dia!
Bom dia.
Segundo o IBGE, cerca de 3 milhões de brasileiros estão em busca de um emprego há cerca de 2 anos.
A alta adesão à Netflix preocupa operadoras de TV fechada.
Preço da batata dispara e chega a máxima de 3,50.
Veja também na edição de hoje uma entrevista exclusiva com um especialista internacional em microeconomia.
Está começando agora mais um Jornal Micronacional. Cerca de 3 milhões de brasileiros estão à procura de um emprego há cerca de 2 anos. A dificuldade da inserção no mercado se dá a partir do início da crise econômica no final de 2014, destacou o IBGE. Essa é a maior crise econômica no mundo do trabalho em um trimestre desde 2012.
A alta adesão da Netflix tem preocupado os operadores de TV por assinatura, que têm perdido seus números de clientes progressivamente desde 2014. Em contrapartida, mesmo aumentando seu preço em 18%, no último trimestre a Netflix fechou com 33% de aumento em seus números de clientes, alcançando a marca de 140 milhões de pagantes pelo mundo e ultrapassando assim a Disney como a maior empresa de mídia do planeta.
A alta no preço da batata tem feito os consumidores procurarem um outro substituto, sendo ele a mandioca. Enquanto a batata encontra-se num preço máximo de R$ 3,50 o quilo, a mandioca custa em torno de R$ 1,80 o quilo. Isso tem feito os consumidores, principalmente de baixo poder aquisitivo, estarem procurando outra alternativa.
Você quer uma picape que tenha cavalos ou pôneis?
Pôneis malditos!
Pônei maldito, venha com a gente atolar. Odeio barro, odeio lama. Que nojinho, não vou sair do lugar.
Te quero!
Escolha uma picape forte de verdade. Nissan Frontier, 172 cavalos, a mais forte da categoria. A Nissan tem um jeito inovador de pesar a força. Pense num Nissan.
Queremos agradecer primeiramente a participação do especialista internacional em microeconomia, Mohamed Mussarela.
Fique agora com as perguntas de nossos internautas.
Hello, Brazil! How is everybody doing today? First of all, I would love to thank Micronational News for giving me this opportunity. It is such a pleasure to get to give advice and talk and share this knowledge that we have as economists to the public. I am currently in South Africa. It is fantastic. The weather is great. I mean, probably not as great as Brazil, but let's get to it.
Bom dia, meu nome é Isabela, eu sou empresária, eu tenho uma distribuidora de água no interior de São Paulo há 3 anos e nesse período acabamos nos tornando a principal distribuidora aqui da cidade. Bom, eu gostaria de saber se caso aumentássemos os valores em 20%, o que aconteceria com a minha receita e com a minha demanda?
Hi, Isabella. So, firstly, with any price variation, you need to consider the elasticity of your product in relation to demand. Now, you might ask me, what is elasticity? Elasticity refers to the degree to which individuals, consumers, and producers change their demand or the amount supplied in response to price or income changes. We have 3 well-known classifications of elasticity. Products which are elastic, inelastic, and unitary. In your case, Isabella, we know that water is absolutely essential, and the fact that there isn't a substitute, we can assume that the product is inelastic. Another factor to consider is customer yield in relation to demand. There exists many classifications. The first being satisfactory assets, second, inferior assets, third, superior assets, and lastly, normal assets. Usually, entrepreneurs take a more practical approach by initiating a variation in price to test market reaction in order to comprehend the elasticity of price in relation to product demand. However, there does exist variation elasticity, and income calculations that could help you predict a theoretical outcome. Us, as economists, we love our little details. We love the numbers, the proof as to why something occurs. And due to this reason, I will create a diagram to facilitate what I am about to explain. Using the diagram to predict the outcome, you can see a variation of 20%, which displays a value that increases from a selling price of 5 to 6 reais per gallon, which would consequently have a hypothetical reduction of 10% within the quantity of demand, which would represent 100 to 90 gallons sold, give or take. Having a look at the elasticity calculation, a result which is less than 1 indicates that the product is inelastic. Equal to 1 would be unitary, and above 1 would mean that your product is elastic. In your case, we've obtained a result of 0.5, proving that our initial hunch was on the correct path. Looking at the income calculation, we can see that there would be an increase of 40 reais. My advice to you is that there is always room for price variation within elastic products, as the quantity of demand has a much lower variation. And in your case, knowing that you're selling a satisfactory asset, this only extends the boundary in relation to the power that you have over price variation.
Olá, me chamo Marcelo, sou do Rio Grande do Sul e sou dono de uma churrascaria e um açougue aqui em Porto Alegre já fazem quase 3 anos. Tenho percebido que nos últimos meses a venda de carnes más nobres como picanha e filé mignon tem caído em torno de 30%. Em compensação, carnes más simples como patinho, paleta e acém têm aumentado bastante. Minhas vendas têm caído em torno de 40% em relação ao ano passado. É de cair os butiá do bolso. Minha pergunta para ti, cara, é: o que pode estar acontecendo?
Hi, Marcelo. Having done my homework about Brazil, it came to my attention that the rate of unemployment has risen along with a weakened economy in comparison to previous years. Now, this indicates that citizens are earning less in relation to inflation, and due to this factor, usually try to settle for inferior assets instead of those with a superior status. In relation to your butchery, clients are more likely to opt for the cheaper option, if not a substitute, which would consequently reduce your sales. My advice to you would be to reduce your selling price of products classified as a superior asset in order to increase quantity of demand. Now, as I've mentioned before, as economists, we love our detail. We love to see proof. And for that very reason, I've created yet another diagram using hypothetical figures in order to predict the outcome of a reduction in price. A variation of 20% in price displays that your selling value would decrease from a rounded figure of 50 reais to 40 reais per kilo, which would consequently have a hypothetical increase of about 25% within the quantity of demand, from initially selling 150 to 200 kilograms, give or take. Now, looking at the income calculation, we can see that there would be an increase of about 1,000 reais.
Bom dia, eu sou o Eduardo Risse, moro aqui em São Paulo, capital, e sou representante da Apple aqui no Brasil. A nossa empresa ultimamente vem sofrendo com um grave problema porque está tendo uma queda brusca nas nossas vendas e a gente não sabe o porquê disso está acontecendo. O preço do nosso produto custa em cerca de R$ 9.500 nas lojas autorizadas, o mesmo valor que era atribuído nos anos anteriores. E o consumo era de 6 a cada 10 pessoas que renovavam o celular anualmente e hoje passou para 3 a cada 10 brasileiros. E a gente quer saber o porquê disso está acontecendo.
Hi, Eduardo. As we may know, this occurrence has affected many organizations in the recent years. And due to this fact, I've written up an article available on my blog. But to sum it all up, there are 4 commonly known determiners linked to elasticity of price: the availability of substitutes, essentiality of product, budget participation, which covers the amount your consumer possesses to spend towards your market niche, and time horizon, which covers whether your consumer has the conditions to save up and wait for a decrease in price variation. Now, as we know, an iPhone has an elevated market price, and therefore the decline of quantity of demand could relate to the availability of substitutes such as Samsung, Lenovo, Alcatel, amongst others, being an adequate substitute, as the features are very similar. To my knowledge, also might possess a lower market price. But taking into consideration that Brazil's population is roughly around 209 million, every 3 out of 10 Brazilians buy an iPhone, according to the information from your question. An annual amount of 62,700,000 phones are sold. My advice to you would be to reduce your selling price in order to increase the quantity of demand. Now, final and last diagram, I swear. But we could use it to predict the outcome of this reduction in price. A variation of 5% displays that your selling value would decrease from 9,500 to 9,000 per cell phone, which would consequently have a hypothetical increase of about 6% within the quantity of demand, with an increase of 3,762,000 phones sold annually, give or take. Looking at the income calculation, we can see that there would be an increase of about 2,508 million reais per annum.
Você internauta que tem dúvidas sobre microeconomia, envie seu vídeo para o nosso Facebook, Jornal Micronacional, e participe do nosso quadro semana que vem.
Essa foi mais uma edição do Jornal Micronacional. Tenham todos uma ótima semana e um bom dia.
Boa semana a todos.